Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the village board meeting of November 11th, Veterans Day. Please join us in our pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Flores.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Here.
Trustee Willis.
Here.
Trustee Heiferman.
Here.
Trustee Simpson.
Here.
Trustee Mason.
Here.
President Hofield.
Here. Representing staff this evening, to my left, our village manager Napoleon Haney. To my right, our village attorney Chris Cummings. To the audience's right, our police chief Denise McGrath, finance director Amy Zakowski, economic and community development director Angela Maceras, public works director Josh Furman, and assistant village manager Terrence Aqua. And in the audience, our events manager Marla Youngblood. And this distinguished gentleman in the front row is our village engineer Max Massey. And Noah Schumer, excuse me, I didn't mean, our Assistant Director of Economic Development and Planning. I think those of you who are in the Civics Academy, that's Christine Banks, our Farmers Market person. Is there anyone that I missed? The minutes of October 28th, any additions or corrections, Trustee Harris Jones?
Nothing for me.
Trustee Willis?
None.
Trustee
I
Heiferman?
have nothing.
Trustee Simpson?
No, sir.
Trustee Mason?
No, sir.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
So, second.
Been moved by Trustee Mason, seconded by Trustee Simpson. Roll call, please.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson. Trustee Mason.
Here. Aye.
The minutes are approved. The claims list in the amount of $1,863,315.96. Any comments or questions? Trustee Harris Jones.
Nothing for me.
Trustee Willis.
Nothing.
Trustee Heiferman.
I have no questions.
Trustee Simpson.
Nothing.
Trustee Mason.
No, sir.
May I have a motion to approve the claims list, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Harris Jones, seconded by Trustee Heiferman. Roll call, please.
Trustee Harris Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
The claims list is approved. Of that $1,800,000 claims list, 4 items comprise the majority of that list. Our payment to the city of Chicago Heights for water was $341,000. 1 month's village employees' health insurance, $293,000. A new public works backhoe was $122,000. And a payment on our 2024 bond interest and principal was $685,000. That amounted to almost $1.5 million, or 77% of that claims list. Hear from the audience. If anyone in the audience would like to address the board on any subject not on the agenda, please raise your hand. Yes, ma'am. Right up. That's okay.
I just wanted to bring up something, hopefully a little bit fun. I work at Good Speed Cycle part-time, worked there for 10 years. But recently, a couple of us attended a board meeting in Flossmoor, which brought up some really good information, which you may already be familiar with, regarding kids cycling and e-bikes and a crazy explosion. Probably a lot of people have run into kids on e-bikes scooting all over the place, having a lot of fun at some people's expense, but also just having a lot of fun. Anyway, I also ride an e-bike as well as other bikes. I kind of wanted to bring attention to some bike safety and was hoping I could query the board with a couple of questions, if that's okay. Not picking on anyone in particular, if you don't mind. This is from Ride, Illinois. It's a bike safety quiz. Asked one friendly motorist question out of several at Ride, Illinois. And maybe a raise of hands if you want to answer it, or you can choose not to in a state. Ride, Illinois has a safety quiz for kids of young age, 4 to 6, older age, 7 to 12. adults, and then also motorists. Because very often motorists are not familiar with bike safety or bike laws. So I'm gonna ask one question from this quiz and see how you guys do, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead, you have 1 minute left.
The question is, when passing a slower moving bicyclist, which of the following should a motorist do? A, reduce speed, especially when driving at a higher speed. B, give bicyclists adequate space to maneuver around obstacles. C, neither of the two choices, or B, or D, both A and B. Anyone for A, which is reduce speed, especially when driving at high speed?
Yeah, sure.
Or B, give cyclists adequate space to maneuver around obstacles?
That as well.
C, neither of those two,
D.
or D, both of them.
Yeah.
You guys would be correct. You're well on the way to succeeding that quiz. If you don't mind, I would like to leave a list of, or leave a brochure at the front of Illinois bicycle laws and the bike safety quiz, if anyone wants to pick that up in order to apprise themselves of some of the laws in Illinois. Would you be okay if I leave it at the table?
Why don't you give it to the manager and we'll get it out?
I can do that. I have, a fun bag for that. In this bag is the, QR code link to Ride Illinois Safety Quiz, as well as Illinois bicycle laws. The bicycle laws, they probably have a newer one. One of the laws, the only change on it, in that bicycle brochure is the definition of a bicycle. Real quick, the new definition of a bicycle is including e-bikes. So some people are not aware that e-bikes actually are illegal bicycles on the rules of the road. So I just want to raise that. That is one change on that bicycle Illinois laws brochure.
Thank you.
Thank you for-
Anyone else, excuse me, anyone else who would like to address the board this evening? If not. Presentations, our our events manager, Marla Youngblood, will present certificates to the fall 2025 Civics Academy participants, most of whom are in the audience this evening.
Cool. I'm gonna help out Marla today. So unfortunately, our good friend Antonia is a little bit under the weather, but she wished she could be here, so let's have a good time for her tonight. So before we kick it off tonight, wanted to give flowers to everybody in the audience. You guys were the best group we've had so far. Oh, we have one. My apologies. I apologize about that. You guys are great. That being said, you guys make us really better with all the questions you ask. We really appreciate it. And we have labeled this cohort number 4, and the government cohort, because a lot of you guys were in government. So we really appreciate your service to the public, and it made things a lot easier for us because you understood where we were coming from. So thank you guys again. So as a quick recap, the Citizens Academy is a series of 6 free educational sessions designed to teach Homewood residents about the inner workings of local government. That Academy's goal is to educate the public and increase awareness and understanding, and to provide an inside look into government operations. And you guys definitely got the opportunity to do that. So it started off at the village manager's office. You got to hear some Donald Trump impersonations from Napoleon. Still needs to work on that. Week 2 was the fire department and building. Week 3 was the finance department. Week 4, public works. Week 5, economic development. And last night was police. And then you got a plug for the CERT team, which I hope you guys join that. So without further ado, congratulations to everybody, and we will read the names off of the cohort group. So the first one is Barbara Johnson, if you can come up. Can we get a round of applause? Stay up here so we can take a picture. The next one, Christopher Cox. Deborah, Dress. Do we have Gail Haynes?
Yeah, appreciate you doing that.
And we have Gail Campbell. Then we also have Jim Dudley. Janet Garrett. Aaron R. Kristen Nero.
Thank you, sir.
Lisa, Scarantini. Thank you.
Congratulations. You're welcome.
Congrats to you.
Nicole Vinos.
Thank you.
Rachel Friedman. And Wanda Scholar. So the next group, we're gonna do something different. We know giving your Mondays is a tough task, like for the last, 6 weeks? Tough task, so we wanted to just, acknowledge your dedication to this program, and we have a tumbler for those who never miss a day. So when I say your name, please come through. Angela Heyman. Beth Faulkner. Doug Rumbler. Hillary Parks. Kate Whitehart.
Jealous, I like that.
Whatever works.
Richard Johnson.
Congratulations. You're welcome.
And then lastly, Vonda Taylor Wall. I'm gonna take the picture.
We're missing some.
Oh,
We have more people. Napoleon, like them to double up.
Give us your name so we can see.
Jennifer Chan.
Jennifer Chan. Melissa. How are you?
Napoleon. Napoleon, do you want them to double up? No, no?
Somebody get it. Now we need someone to take a picture.
Marla?
All
Oh,
right.
All right.
oh, he's short. Wait a minute. He's doing all of it.
What are we gonna say? Citizens Academy? Freeze. Okay, on three, Citizens Academy.
That's the academy.
Congratulations again.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And continuing the Marla show,
Yes.
the proceeds of the Fall Fest.
So every year for our Fall Fest, we have a chili cook-off. That chili cook-off, it's about 20 chili vendors each year. And they make about 3 to 4 gallons of chili. Every year we decide to donate the tasting portion of that. So there's a $5 donation that goes in for the tasting. And we choose a local non-for-profit every year to receive that money. And we also do it with our pumpkin catch. And this year was Spotlight Performance Academy. They are a performance group in town that whether you can afford some of the classes or not, they will always keep you in. Carrie Bowen, I would say, founder and president, is always a part of our community, and we wanted to really thank her for continuing her work here. So we wanted to present, this is the biggest check we've ever gotten from the chili cook-off.
We did $2,625 in pumpkin patch and chili fest, and we're so happy to be able to give it to Carrie and her group to do such great work here in town.
Mary, you wanna?
We're there, it's the whole board.
Stand up, everyone.
Come on.
You guys move to the middle?
There you go.
we go.
Hey, music.
Music.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And I just wanted to say,
All right, get it over there.
thank you so much for selecting us for this year's proceeds. Like Marla was saying, this will go straight to our tuition assistance program. And in the 10 years that we've been running our program, we have never turned anybody away that couldn't pay for our programming. So that's really special to us. So we really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
What do you need?
December 7th, our choir concert,
What is it?
HF. At Homewood Flossmoor High School, all of our choirs will be performing, about 150 singers from the community. So come on out, see us. Thank you.
If someone has kids who would like to get involved in that, what should they do? How should they contact you?
SpotlightPerformanceAcademy.org. And you can see all of our classes right there online.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, I promise I'm done after this. I am here to present, what our farmers market, as you well know, is over 20 years old here in Homewood. And this year was the first year that we brought someone in-house to do the farmers market. And that was Christine Banks. She comes to us from, she is a Homewood resident, and she comes with a lot of experience with farmers markets and just events in general. We are lucky and honored to have her, and she's going to talk a little bit about our successes this year and what the future is going to bring for our farmers market, everything that she's done to bring more life to it. And I couldn't be more honored to be working with her as we go.
Hello, everyone. So if you happen to stop by the farmers market during the summer, during our 20 wonderful Saturdays this wonderful summer, where I think we only ran out once. You would have met me at the Village of Homewood tent. I was doing the rubber ducky game with the kids. Maybe I gave you a tote bag. Maybe I talked you into picking up a recipe from the Historical Society. So it's been my pleasure and my honor to be a part of the Homewood Farmers Market this year. The vendors have been fabulous. The community has been fabulous. The amount of children and dogs and families that have come through has been excellent. We even had them come through. So it's been really great. So today I'm going to present you with a few of the recap information. So right here, we have the statistics for the outdoor farmers market. The vendors per market this year versus 2024. We had about 34 vendors per market versus 26. Vendor fees collected were a little bit different between the 2 years. We had a big improvement there. The number of 2025 vendors were 69. And the average number of vendors to cancel or no-show per market throughout the season was about 6. And anything can happen. The vendors can have an illness in the family, their car could break down, they didn't have enough produce for the weekend. There's a couple of reasons why that could happen. But we started a system that included standby vendors, which added per market to fill vacancies. Was about 2 vendors were added per market for each average 6 that would no show. So we were actually filling a couple of vacancies every market, unbeknownst to the public. And those vendors were great in just having their products and everything ready to roll just on a whim to fill in those spaces for us. So that was really great. So improvements for the 2025 outdoor market. We had a few expanded markets. So if you came about once a month, we had a space for over a dozen additional vendors, which was expanded onto Chestnut Road here in front of Village Hall between Martin and Dixie. That was really great. We had food trucks anchoring the entryways and everything, so it was fabulous. We plan to have more of that. We had freebies, we had farmers market tote bags for visitors, thanks to Antonia, that was a great idea on her behalf to get those ordered for us. I started the Ducky Gang prizes for kids, coloring pages, we have new kitty picnic size tables for kids, that were really great, and the kids really loved that. We had collaborations with the Homewood Historical Society to give away free recipes that included a shopping list to help guests shop with our farmers to get the fresh produce for those recipes. We had the vendor standby option, which was created for last minute vacancies. We had branded signage postings to notify visitors of absent vendors. So if a vendor was to happen to no show, cancel last minute, or to sell out of their product, we were able to have signage available kind of on a whim because we have the resources available here at Village Hall to notify the public with that signage and say that these vendors either weren't available or they sold out. Vendor file management is a big thing. We are tracking all payments, paperwork, attendance, as well as confirming a certificate of insurance and compliance with Cook County Department of Public Health requirements. So every single one of our vendors that is selling anything that's consumable, which can be anything from dried teas to produce to honey to ready to eat foods. Every single one of our vendors is guaranteed that they have been approved through both our standards and through Cook County Department of Public Health standards. So that is something that has been really looked after during the past season. So I put out a survey at the end of the season to ask the vendors how they felt, how things have changed, because I didn't make any giant changes, but little changes to make improvements, and also asking how they'd like to see things change for the following year. So the top 5 features for 2026 that vendors would like to see is they want to see more expanded markets, which is on the docket. Live musicians, which would be fabulous. We would like to add some of that. This year, we were focused more on recruiting and garnering a quality list of vendors. So the following year now we can focus more on the extra entertainment side. So we're looking forward to that. Banner ads, we're looking at additional advertising throughout town to make sure that everybody's aware that we have a farmers market on every Saturday, because there were some people that simply didn't know we had it. More additional food options. I would love to see the farmers market become more of a lunch destination to improve the population of the farmers market. And then also to have a directory that's available for the guests and both the vendors too, that show the variety of things that we offer from farmers, artisans, ready-to-eat food, baked and bath and beauty, etc. And then we just have a quote here from one of our vendors that said, "I loved it in the Homewood Farmers Market. I look forward to it every week. I did a neighboring town's market for the previous 3 years, and I probably made more money this year in Homewood than I did in those 3 years. Thank you, Homewood Market." One of the things that I've gotten back from most of my vendors is the fact that the Homewood community returns every week to our farmers market. They get return customers, they get people that fall in love with their product and they come back every week, which is something that they don't necessarily see at some of the other markets that they participate in. We have some of our vendors participate in multiple markets throughout the suburbs and throughout Chicagoland, and they have found that we have a really good community following. So I'd like to continue with the quality of the Homewood Farmers Market, continue to provide for the community so that they have a reason to keep coming back. When I surveyed the vendors, 100% of vendors surveyed plan to return in 2026 and would recommend our market payment funds. Nearly a quarter of vendors surveyed sold out of product during the market rate, and that's just this past farmers market. We plan to continue to improve, so hopefully that number continues to improve. So ongoing plans to improve the farmers market. We want to continue with the expanded markets because those were really great. And to at least 6 market days per season. Increase visibility. We'd like to incorporate more advertising throughout the community, including printer banner ads. We have a dedicated social media page now for live updates. So when we do have vendors that cancel last minute, we can post it right away. If we have vendors that join us last minute, we can also share that right. Collaboration. So work with rather than compete with current events such as townwide garage sale, car shows, fall fest, art and garden, village of Baltimore programs. So there's a couple of times during the last season where I noticed there's other programs going on at the same time as the farmers market. We might have seen a dip in attendance or even a dip in the amount of vendors we had. So next year, I'd like to collaborate with these organizations. So when the kind of like garage sales going on, maybe we cross promote with each other and we can both share all that traffic, that's it. I'd like to add live music performances, preferably local school or local student musicians. Children who are just now getting into learning how to perform publicly. I feel the farmer's market is a bit of a low-key environment that gives them the opportunity to both publicly perform, interact with people, but also not be the center of attention and not have the amount of butterflies that maybe they look elsewhere. Interactive features, so holiday or era themed markets. That would be something like if we wanted to do like a sixties or seventies day, we'd have music that correlated, maybe I get some vendors to participate in those sort of things, and then even cross promoting with the car shows. The car shows have been cars, maybe we can team up with their music and our farmers market. Contest, loyalty card with raffles, cooking demos, which would be great if I could team up with some local restaurants. People's Choice Vendor Award, where the public can vote for their favorite vendor, and then the vendors can have their fun promoting themselves. Farmers Market brew from a local brewery. I would love to connect with one of the local breweries to see if they would be willing to do something like that. And then again, the market directory for guests, which will kind of get them a guide to what we have and make it seem more of a cohesive layout and a repetitive thing where they know exactly where to go if they want their bath and beauty, if they want their farmers, if they want their. A goal for next year is to achieve first place ranking in Illinois and the Midwest for the 2026 America's Farmers Market Celebration Competition. Homewood is proud to announce that we won second place in Illinois for the best farmers market.
Yes, wow, yes.
And that's entirely thanks to the vendors, the community, and everybody who came out and voted for us. The goal is to next year be number one. Which would be fabulous because we were really close with number two, I'd like to say. But we can accomplish more next year, and that's going to be one of our goals. So congratulations, getting number two, because that's still a great accomplishment. And I'd say number one was Arlington Heights, which is actually pretty far from here, so we're good in our area. So what's next? Thanks to the success of the outdoor farmers market, we have received a record 83 applications for the Homewood Holiday Market, which is on December 6th of this year. New products anticipated include, and that little graphic, that photo on the side there is a representation of all the different products we will have at the holiday market. So that's everything from cured meats and poultry, breakfast sandwiches, for prepackaged gourmet pickles and vegetables, and sauces and soups. Frozen meats, egg rolls, pierogies, stuffed peppers, cabbage rolls, and sausage, gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, and vegetarian options. In addition to all our favorite vendors and farmers such as wrought iron, cat fruit, fried mushrooms, and we do have a sourdough baker who will be returning. Not the same one we've had, but we do have a sourdough baker. So we have a variety of products, a variety of vendors, and we are really excited for this upcoming market. So we will see you on December 6th. In addition to our fabulous list of vendors, you'll also find festive holiday photo op for guests, a free market themed gift tag with ribbon for everybody who comes, a loyalty punch card, which leads to a raffle with prize basket. And you'll also have a second chance to purchase a previous year holiday lights mug. We found a few in the basement that we are going to bring out for everyone. So if you missed a couple of years here and there, and maybe if you're lucky, we'll have some left over from the 2025 and holiday lights. We'll see. I can't guarantee that at all. But we do have a few. So be sure you join us for that because that's going to be a fun event. It's going to be a lot more going on than the previous holiday markets. And I do have a couple of samples here for all of you, just so you can see that these are the gift tags that you'll be able to get for free at the holiday market.
Thank you.
Thanks. And we also have some loyalty cards.
Thanks.
Now, while I'm passing these on, does anyone have any questions?
Who beat us for the number one spot?
It was
Arlington
around.
Heights.
Was it true that the village manager was the number one customer based on all his purchases?
I did.
Just cakes.
Everything.
Definitely the number one. Any questions? Anyone?
We thank you, Christine, and we look forward to December 6th right next door. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Haney. Update on the 183rd Street roadway mitigation.
Thank you, Mayor Boyd. Yeah, so we're gonna keep the lights on so you can see that. So from the October 14th board meeting where the board directed staff to pursue alternative corridor safety improvements. Staff has worked over the past weeks to vet and work through the 47 mitigation strategies identified in the Burns and McDonald study. We were able to table various items that required both IDOT approval, hefty studies, and lengthy implementation. So I want to take you, so we took 47 down to 19, down to 8. The ones in green are the items that we are moving forward with. Obviously, there's some vetting, so these will be in front of the board at a subsequent meetings or some additional meetings. So that's install a traffic light at Center Avenue, moving forward with that. The ones in the, I guess, purple, we kind of eliminated because of what I shared previously. The items in yellow, we're going to talk about those in a few minutes. Another green is convert a no right on red with pedestrians to a no turn on red, period. The other green are down at the bottom near Aberdeen Street intersection. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. So staff moved through the mitigation list and identified 19 items that we further vetted down to 8 items that we believe will be highly effective and impactful in lessening crashes and accidents. So our focus was on lessening crashes and accidents. I'll talk about that shortly. We plan to continue vetting these items and bring them forward, like I shared, for board review and input at upcoming board meetings. The first update, we can move from there. The first update is on our targeted enforcement activities. The chart on the screen is a snapshot of our 2025 enforcement activities. It's important to note that Homewood PD are not only writing tickets on 183rd Street, but we are also clamping down on all of our streets, as you can see with the total citation. We will soon begin posting this data on our website as it becomes available. The numbers on the screen have even more weight when you consider the following overlay of calls for service that the police department has responded to in the past year, separate and aside from traffic enforcement activities. So listen to this. So these are citations for speeding, and the far right column is the citations for speeding on 183rd Street. Separate and aside from that, police call for services in January was 1,570. In August, 2,145 calls for services. In September, another 2,245 calls for services. Total, as of September 30th, 2025, 15,640 calls for services, separate and aside from our traffic enforcement.
Napoleon, I think it's important, those are citations, not traffic stops.
Correct. Right.
No.
Thank you. Chief gave you that education earlier today. I hope that everyone in the room have been on your best behavior when driving in Homewood, because our enforcement activities are apparent. They're visible, they're engaging. If you are stopped and endowed with this citation, please pay it promptly. I will say to you, like I shared with the executive director from our ECOM 911 dispatch when he was stopped by our awesome officers. A big thanks to you, Chief McGrath, and our amazing officers who have been diligent and consistent in their traffic enforcement activities. The good news is there are 44 days to Christmas. The bad news is our enforcement is just getting started. We have more actions planned. I'm going to ask Chief McGrath to come up and share what we can share about our upcoming targeted enforcement plan. Chief.
So the first portion of the targeted enforcement comes from our IDOT grant. Our IDOT grant runs from October 1 to September 30th and includes 8 campaigns. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Super Bowl, Memorial Day, Independence Day, St. Patrick's Day, and Labor Day. Our IDOT grant award for their fiscal year, October 1 to September 30 this year, is $70,950. Since 2022, that grant award has almost doubled. So we really got a significant increase this year for that grant detail and speeding enforcement, seatbelt, distracted driving, DUI, etc. In addition to that, during non-campaign periods, the police department will be posting an internal traffic enforcement detail that will occur during the times where the IDOT detail is not in play.
Thanks, Chief.
Any questions?
Excuse me, real quick, Chief. You mentioned all of the holidays. New Year's isn't one, New Year's Eve isn't one of those?
The Christmas detail
It
kind of
includes all-
overlaps into
gotcha.
New Year's.
Okay, thank you.
Be careful out there.
I will be, I appreciate it. So,
So we can go, so next we're gonna go deal with some of our another mitigation strategy, to mitigating crashes and vehicle accidents. So I want to show you, so this is taken from our Burns and McDonald study. And if you look at those little icons, each of those icons represent a type of crash. This is, I believe, the Dixie Highway intersection. Yep, Dixie. So one of our goals is to look, we wanted to take some mitigation strategies that would help eliminate some of these rear-end crashes and types of crashes that we're typically seeing at or around intersections. Knowing that come up.
So looking at a couple other mitigation strategies for, again, looking at both speeding and accident safety. One of the things that we wanted to take kind of a two-pronged initial attack to solving some of those accident risks. So if we load up the diagrams of the example of the strategies, I can walk through them. So two recommendations that Burns and McDonald gave were to lengthen left turn lanes at our key intersections, such as Dixie Highway. Try to close some of these bars so it's easier to see. There we go. To lengthen left turn lanes and to install delineators to restrict left turns at certain locations. So the first, let's talk about the expanding the left turn lanes. The reason for that is a lot of rear end accidents, which make up a very large number of the accidents in this corridor, come from left turning vehicles extending out from those lanes into traffic. When you have a 2-lane street like that, that creates a lot of conflicts very quickly. And so by extending those left turn lanes back, we can create additional storage that reduces rear end accident risk. The second is the delineators. You see some of the delineators at Center and Park Avenue currently. And the purpose of these delineators is to restrict turn motions and also to protect vehicles from potential sideswipe crashes, which there were a significant number of on this corridor as well. Traffic is very close together, especially with vehicles turning into a left turn lane. You can create a risk for that as well. So those delineators would be installed at these left turns to protect them. Then also at some intersections that are close to those left turns. Martin Avenue is on the screen here, for example, an area where we see a lot of risk of accidents. Some of the other intersections we look at would be some of the offset intersections. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Mouse? Yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. Here's be another example. Coing, for example, is actually where you saw quite a few different types of accidents, including an angle crash and a turning crash. Gottschalk is where you saw a lot of the accident risk there, those turning and angle crashes, because it's an offset intersection, a lot like Center is. And these were areas that Burns recommended that we address. We didn't extend beyond what Burns recommended. These were just those areas where they said that this would be based on their study findings, would be good areas to target. So looking there, then at Homewood, Highland and other streets down would not be affected. And then Ashland and leading up to Regal, and then on the other side towards Poplar. These would just be, again, delineators that would restrict turns at some of those intersections where you just see a lot of accident risk. So
The great thing about delineators is when we install them, we can monitor. We have software now, also Chief has some software that tracks cell phone data where we can see vehicular movement, with stacking of traffic during certain times of day. The delineators are easy to install, and if they aren't successful or aren't producing the desired outcome, we can always remove it. So it's a relatively easy solution to kind of mitigate some of our lane crashes, rear end crashes. As you can see right here, 14 rear end crashes, 7 in leftmost lane. So the goal is to kind of mitigate some of those crashes using some low cost and highly effective tools. All right. I just want to move to the next slide, which shows one of the items that the board has talked about, the board has spoken about quite often, and we're moving forward to vet further is the traffic signalization at Center Avenue and 183rd Street. This is just a rough mock-up of what it could look like. Obviously, there would be a first phase one study to be performed, phase two design, and then phase three construction. So this year we have funding. Is it this year we have funding in the capital? We have funding in the capital to start the phase one. Phase one is all of the study that IDOT will require before we even proceed to phase two, which is the design of this intersection, the design of the lighting. And then phase three construction, which is the monster heavyweight of the cost. So that would be in the subsequent phase of our capital. In the last slide, we heard loud and clear, a lot of residents had some concerns about child safety, especially in school zones. So Josh, you want to talk about this?
So there's a lot of existing signage out there, and we're looking to revamp that with more high reflectivity, encouraging people to slow down the 20 mile an hour when flashing. We have the new radar signs that we installed in the last couple of weeks. We're looking to modernize the existing radar signs out there to match, so they look uniform. And this is something, again, low hanging fruit that we could probably get ahead of pretty quickly with these improvements. Again, the high reflectivity.
All right. Any questions? So again, these aren't definitive. These are options that mitigation options that we're vetting to move forward so that we want to get you kind of acquainted with some of these so that when we bring them forward, we can get some feedback. You can tell us yay, nay, makes sense, don't make sense. We're going to continue our enforcement activities regardless. I mean, we're going hard in the paint with our police enforcement, but these are some of the additional mitigation options that we would like to see move forward. So we'll be bringing these back to the board.
The delineators.
Just to say,
I'm sorry.
do they get comments or questions from anyone in the audience? Bob?
Yeah, I have a couple. First, thank you for always providing quick updates. I think people know that I may have had a different approach to this. I believe we're mitigating an issue but not fixing it. We appreciate the efforts that you're doing. One thing, being a retired engineer, I would like data. So how will we know this is successful? Are you measuring the speed, either speeds, accidents per million traveled, or how will we be reporting back? I know it's only been, again, appreciate a week, whatever, 2 weeks reporting back, but how will we know in 6 months or a year that I tend to disagree with this approach, but I'm open to data. How do I know you've been successful? And overall, what is the goal for how will we know you've now made it a safe road? To me, it's still an unsafe road. So how will we collect the data? And what is the goal for the village on that road for safety?
So, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, I probably need to be more specific. The police department purchased some software. Well, it's not software, purchased a subscription that tracks cell phone data. Chief, you wanted to talk about SD. So in the vein of tracking, monitoring metrics.
Yeah, so one of the metrics we'll use is tracking traffic crashes. Of course, we'll be able to see that data, we track that personally. But the other is the purchase of this software, Urban SDK. It is relatively new. We're getting more familiar with it. We'll do a more comprehensive presentation of one of the future board meetings that do a deeper dive into it. But one of the things they are able to provide us with is the data on traffic speeds, traffic counts, and things like that.
Great. Will that only be 183rd? Will you be able to see other?
No, it covers the entire village.
Sure, we'll have a great presentation. I appreciate that. Only 2 more questions. One is, we talked about enhanced enforcement. And I know we talked about a grant. I know when we first talked about the different alternatives, you show a lot of costs. What are we tracking the costs for having police not doing other duties and doing traffic enforcement? What are the costs of that?
So we are tracking, obviously, any additional detail that our police does outside of their normal duties is tracked because that's overtime. So we are tracking our costs to provide these additional traffic enforcement detail. The ability to track what they aren't able to do when they're doing a certain detail, I'm not sure we had that ability as of yet.
Will we know how much percentage of their time is traffic versus patrolling?
Traffic versus control.
There are other things they respond to, we talked about 15,000, 20,000 responses. Is it? I guess I just want, we'd like potentially in the future, we talked about, at least I was requesting, how will we measure? I'd also like to know some of the ways we might measure. Again, the police are doing a very good job. I just want to know the cost of that because we compared that with other costs, so. Potentially upgrading the road and things like that, so I'd be curious about those costs.
We can provide costs, but again, getting into the deeper metrics, it's gonna take us some time to.
Well,
to give it.
I don't expect that to, I think that's a 6 month or, I'm really asking is. The approach that we're taking, what we're now calling mitigation. I'm a little skeptical, but I'm hoping for data. We all want safe roads that are connecting communities, so that. The last part I had, maybe this is outside of this report. Last time I was up here, I asked about the 2026 road budget. How can we participate and make sure that at least some of the items addressed are related to road safety, not just potholes?
So when we'll be bringing back during the budget cycle, we'll be bringing back our capital list. We talk about that quite often, the 5-year capital plan. We'll be bringing that back to the board because obviously limited resources. So we have to continually prioritize as these things come up. So traffic safety is a priority for the board. That we will have to have that conversation to see where dollars will be moved to assist us better in responding to those needs. So that will be during our budget season and our which will definitely impact our capital cycle. So, and that our budget season starts now. Budget ends in
February, March. Of each board meeting.
Any other questions? Hey, Kim?
Two things. One is, I don't know if we've mentioned the UPS and the Amazon drivers continually making U-turns right in the middle of 183rd. And I'd be happy to videotape or take pictures in the future, but I think anyone who lives on 183rd or just drives on there knows that they're doing that during rush hour. I come home from work every day. One swipes in front of my house to get to the other side. One, if we put up delineators, of course, that'll stop that, but.
if you could give us the time roughly, and we can get that to chief.
Yeah, I love getting deliveries just like everyone else, but I mean, I've seen them go up on the curbs, not once or twice, like where we just sit there.
Give us that information of when you're seeing this, we can definitely.
So that was one thing that, but I never see accidents happen, which is weird, it's still not good to make you turn. And two, of those numbers that you just gave about the number of calls that were responded to, do we have an idea or measure of how many of those were the Halsted shopping corridor and or the casino area?
Well, I'm sure we can get those numbers.
Yeah, I don't have.
We don't have them now, but everything's.
Say
fine.
versus a year ago,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
wasn't an issue, so.
We can definitely get those. Is that something you want to see?
I do, I just wondered that.
We can get those.
Any other questions? Yep, ma'am.
Are there additional mitigation strategies specifically for pedestrian safety along 183rd, and also cyclist safety? I know there was mention of like the signage and making it more reflective, but can you talk about some of the other options that are in the works that would protect folks who maybe aren't in a car?
So what we learned was, I believe it was Trustee Lauren that first brought this issue to the board or item to the board. She mentioned the sidewalks and we learned a few things about our sidewalks. When IDOT constructed 183rd Street, they have a definitive right of way. So for us to widen sidewalks, do any type of mitigation to the sidewalks, we would have to acquire private property. That's an undertaking. I'm not sure anyone in the world would want to, try to do it in the domain or whatever. So we're limited in the sidewalks, what we can do. But what we can do is make sure those sidewalks are smooth. There are no gaps in the sidewalk. So Josh is definitely working on that already. As far as signage, I'm not sure whatever other type of signage we can put on sidewalks. Josh?
Future improvements like the center light, potentially another light, while we're evaluating, is gonna have all types of, ADA accessibility, high reflectivity crossings. So that's gonna help encourage and make safe crossing of 183rd. But like to Bolton's point, it's a large undertaking, to start acquiring sidewalk space. We'd have to have everybody up and down the street sign up on that, and that might be hard to do.
Sure, and that wouldn't be my suggestion at all. These, like, when we're talking about like. Car safety, vehicle safety, considering, folks that walk or bike a lot, or have like kids in a stroller going underneath them.
And the great thing about this, I don't think we've received any data that showed accidents on the sidewalk, right? Or bike running into somebody in the stroller. We haven't seen that. Everything that we've seen as far as accidents revolve around the vehicular travel. So we're doing well on the sidewalks. So keep doing what you're doing if you're on the sidewalks. But other mitigation efforts for that, opportunities for that.
Yes, in the back.
And Dixie, and other than the intersections that you showed right here, where would they be along? Like, if we live on 183rd, turning left, turning right, how long? Of the road?
It's a long walk. That's a good question. So going just from Dixie to Regal, we kind of tried to fine tune this where they're long enough to be effective, and to cover those intersections, but still, not put them in places where they don't need to be. So you'll see this image on the screen. That's just Regal through Ashland. That's just because you have two intersections that are very, very close by to that intersection. It would conflict with that left turn lane. So you can see that kind of protection there. We had a couple of accidents there. And I identified those in the box up above that intersection. But if we go to the next page, other way, you'll just see Homewood and Gottschalk. These are really unique intersections because they're offset intersections. They do have quite a few accidents that have occurred there. There's high accident risk, so those delineators would run through that portion. And then if you scroll up to the next one. You'll see that that'll continue just up to Dixie here. The goal of that again is to try to create a consistent traffic flow, a smooth traffic flow, and avoid some of those left turns and kind of unpredictably behaviors that have caused a lot of angle and turning crashes that have really plagued this intersection and made it particularly unsafe. So as Napoleon mentioned, delineators can be moved around and adjusted as we track things, as we kind of see how things improve or don't improve. But this was kind of an initial proposal put together by staff.
Sir, you had a question?
So my one question is, so similar vein to your question around the sidewalks. So Gottschalk and 183rd, I make that right turn 7 days a week, and I would be willing to bet that some of those 9 accidents are because of an obstruction. There's a huge wrought iron fence there.
Yes.
Which is incredibly unsightly. I don't know why, I don't even know why that's about, but my question will be, what is the process for that? It seems like everybody's kind of aware of it. What's the process for reviewing?
Let our village attorney address that.
We've been looking at that. There's not a simple solution. That fence has been there for years. A long time ago. I know that the village has reached out to the property owner in the past and asked about the possibility of removing or relocating that fence. To date, they haven't had that luck. I mean, what I've told the staff too is we need, if we're going to actually come at it from a public safety standpoint, we need some very hard data because we are prepared to go to court. Because that's what it's going to take. I would rather use the carrot than the stick. But if we have to use the stick, then that's a possibility. That's a board decision later on, whether or not we can do that. I think the easier way to do it is to figure out some kind of way to get them to cooperate. The problem is it's been there for as long as I can remember. It's been there quite a long time. Yeah, and I talked with the assistant manager last week about this too. To the homeowner, there's some value. Because if you look at it in the front, it's cute. Okay, the problem is that guy doesn't have to turn. I've gone through that intersection myself and it's a challenge. We're trying to work it out the friendly way as opposed to the hostile way. That would be much better and cheaper for everybody. But I think the board, the entire board agrees something's got to be done.
Definitely on agree.
There was one other question back there. Yes, ma'am.
I'm assuming that they're gonna look similar to the ones they currently exist at center.
They would look more like down at Park Avenue, where they're sitting on rails.
Which kind of looks like it's under construction. Actually. So, and you did say that this is something you're gonna try out, it's temporary. If it works out and it's successful, is there? Question. Is there, next step to make it more aesthetically pleasing for the community as opposed to looking at these construction sites ongoing?
So one of the, and you nailed it in your intro. You said it looks like a construction zone. That prohibits people from running into it. They're bright, they're orange, they're yellow, they're reflected. So I think we want to keep that standard, so that we can make sure people understand, don't run into it. If you turn it blue, purple, people say, oh, that's fun, and run it over. So we probably want to keep it, reflective.
Max, did you have any?
Yeah, I would definitely say, yeah, that we're gonna look at different delineators and different styles. I wouldn't say we were totally happy with Park, I'll kind of agree with you, but I don't know if you ever traveled to Indiana, on Route 41 and 231, they've got a more of a robust one. And it'd be nice to have just, uniformity down the street if we're using them. Let's get them all looking the same. Yeah, if you get down at center, that if we're gonna pursue the light, we're not gonna change those out, but we have problems with those when they're stuck directly to the pavement. When they pop out, we can't put them back in. So the ones that, are on a nice rail, when those are hit, they're simply replaced. So that's something we're definitely looking at. We're gonna look at all types and, do a little cost analysis, but something that looks a little better than Park. Yeah.
If they are effective and they stay in long term, we'll look to make that modernization across the board, so they all look uniform.
Jimmy had one last question.
Yeah, real quick to go back to Gottschalk on the corner. Do you guys remember the talk about maybe turning that into a dead end or a turnaround down there? Whatever happened with that?
Well,
Because I remember there were a couple residents who came from Gottschalk.
yeah, we had a couple of meetings right in this very room, and initially we had a few residents saying, turn it into a one-way, and then when it came down to decision-making time, the residents came out and it was like, no, you do not want that to be locked up. So that's where it stood at that point, so.
Okay, board comments. Let's start off with the police point of view here. Mr. Seams.
I wanted to clarify something that the chief said. So the IDOT grants, that's something completely different, and officers every day they have goals of traffic stop. The grant is something different that they're doing, not on duty. This is funding from the state that reimburses 100%. So that would be another traffic enforcement component. Then Chief McGrath talked about another detail that would again not be part of their daily traffic duty. So you actually have three components there that would work together with this. So there is a lot of traffic enforcement going on. And again, the numbers that we showed, those are only citations. So there's a lot more of just traffic stops being conducted. Napoleon, I had a question about the delineators. Is that completely at the village's discretion on where we put them, move them around?
That's correct. We're trying to make sure we mitigate the data at some of those intersections that show crashes. We were trying to make sure we put delineators at those intersections.
Okay.
To kind of mitigate those crashes. But yes, it's up to the village where we put those delineators.
Okay, thank you.
Another police point of view is Trustee Mason.
Well, what I wanted to know was about the proposed light at Center.
Yes.
Center's just a block away from Aberdeen. That light seems like a short span. Then after Center, you got a long stretch before you get to Regal. Why did we pick Center and not maybe Hood, which seems to be midway point? And then are we able to synchronize those lights to control the flow of traffic and the speed that these cars can get to. Thanks.
Yeah, I think, when they do the phase one study, they'll look at, possibly interconnecting those lights. We have that on 183rd Dixie, Harwood, all the way down to Western.
Mhm.
I think we chose center because of that offset, severe offset, and we've had,
Yeah.
pretty bad accidents right there. And that's kind of an ideal location. It's really, when you go toward, if you figure, Harwood and Dixie, those are even closer than Aberdeen and Center, so we
Right.
still have some room there. And we're at relatively low speeds, so shouldn't be too big of an issue, and we don't have IDOT involved. That's our road. So.
Anything else?
No, I think that's.
For the benefit of those in the audience, both trustee Mason, trustee Simpson have police backgrounds, so that's why they have let it off. Trustee Harris Jones.
Neighbors will be installed. Is there a time frame or looking at this year, next year?
So after we kind of vet this, brings it back to the board, we're looking at next year's spring. Josh, you want to talk about the process of the delineators and the existing?
Yes,
striping?
Max and Brian, this part of our road improvements, we do pavement marking every year. So with these improvements, we're gonna have to extend the stall, the left turn stall. So the goal would be, we do those improvements to the turn lane, all the pavement markings get put in, and then afterward, we then look to install the lineators.
That would be just talking spring.
Spring.
For 2026.
Okay, trustee Willis.
Thanks for the updates and for that is feedback.
I don't have much to add to this. I would say an interesting thing that was mentioned to me was making center north of 183rd, one way north only, and put a three-way stop at that intersection at center and 183rd. Three-way stop. So just an idea. And by the way, thank you for bringing up the site block. That's been an issue of mine for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And I believe the issue is there's been poor communication, not the homeowner who's resisting anything. I believe that homeowner is confused, needs to be approached properly with plans in hand. What we will do for them if the fence is removed, meaning we would take on the landscaping, we would take on the construction, we would leave them with a better home. I don't believe that they have some emotional attachment to the fence, and that project could be done.
Okay.
Can I touch
Right
base
ahead.
on so great suggestion. Because it's been 5 years since we kind of circled around the light at center, there is gonna need to be some evaluating done prior to any installation, design, and construction, right? So I think at that moment, we could probably rule some ideas out with them to see what could be. There might be a cost savings by doing something along those lines, but that'll all be ruled out with the study and how it's gonna impact our side streets.
So that suggestion might be brought into the study.
Absolutely.
And to trustee Heiferman's point, I think it was a very good one. Maybe we should show that homeowner a little home with hospitality, and we'll see what we can do to work with him. Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your input.
Thank you.
Ms. Flores. The consent agenda, please.
We ask the board to consider a motion to pass, approve, authorize, accept, or award the following items. Pass ordinance M 2378, a map amendment for the property at 18106 to 18124 Martin Avenue from the B1 Downtown Core Zoning District to the B2 Downtown Transition Zoning District. Pass ordinance M 2379, authorizing the donation of abandoned, lost, or stolen property recovered by the Homewood Police Department to Restoration Ministries Incorporated, located in Harvey, Illinois. We ask the board to pass ordinance MC 1092, amending section 860 of the Homewood Municipal Code, dogs at large, to include the language, any person in violation of the provisions of the section shall upon conviction thereof be fined in an amount not less than 150, no more than 750 for each violation. Pass Resolution R 3239, determining minutes or portions thereof from executive sessions no longer requiring confidential treatment. Pass Ordinance R 3240, resolution approving executive session minutes from March 11, 2025 to September 30th, 2025, and authorizing the destruction of executive session audio recordings from September 12th, 2023 to April 23rd, 2024. Approve a budget amendment in the amount of $49,800 and authorize the village president to enter into contract with Burns and McDonnell of Chicago, Illinois, in an amount of $49,800 to provide engineering services to assist the village in submitting a multi-year project plan and funding nomination forms for the state of Illinois fiscal year 2027 and preparing bid documents for the lead service line replacement year project fiscal year 2027, which will be reimbursed through the village's state revolving loan fund allocation. We ask the board to pass a resolution 3241 prohibiting civil immigration enforcement activities on village property. Pass ordinance MC 1093 creating a Class 12B bring your own liquor license. Pass ordinance 2380 ordinance amending the table of the number of liquor license limitations by class to add a Class 12B liquor license. Pass ordinance M 2381 amending the liquor license section of the Village of Homewood fee schedule and award the bid 2025 sanitary sewer slips linings program to Instituform Technologies USA LLC of Romeoville to the lowest responsible bidder in a total amount not to exceed $492,843.30 for the rehabilitation of approximately 261 service connections.
Thank you. It should be noted, item C, MC 1092 fines, initially it said for dogs and cats at large. That's dogs only, cats have a mind of their own. We all know that. Any comments or questions from anyone in the audience with regard to the items on the consent agenda? If not, board comments, Trustee Harris Jones. Trustee Willis. Trustee Hyperman. Trustee Simpson. Trustee Mason.
Yeah, real quickly, in item A, what is the difference between a B1 and a B2 zone?
B1 district is the downtown core district. It's a very small area that includes our main streets where we want to see retail and restaurants. And really the only two uses that are permitted in that district are retail and restaurants. It's very limited. And that includes Ridge and Martin and a little bit of Dixie. B2 is more, it's called the downtown transition district. So it allows more uses, a little more flexibility.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda, please. Been moved by Trustee Willis, seconded by Trustee Harris Jones. Roll call, please.
Trustee Harris Jones. Trustee Willis. Trustee Hyperman. Trustee Simpson. Trustee Mason.
Consent agenda is approved. New business discussion, Class 12B liquor license for Blue Pearl Candles, Ms. Sikowski.
Have two businesses that have requested the new ordinance for 12B liquor license, so y'all just approved it 30 seconds ago. The first of the two is Blue Pearl Candles. They've been operating at 2050 Ridge Road since fall of last year. They offer candles and the art of candle making, and they are looking to offer an experience to their customers to enjoy a night out by bringing their own beer and wine together and create candles and body oil, referred to as candles and cocktails. So if the board is in favor of their request for a Class 12B liquor license, we would direct staff to prepare an ordinance to bring to a future board meeting after they've completed all of their application. We do have someone from Blue Pearl.
Come on up. This is also your opportunity to tell the audience about Blue Pearl.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kim Rowe. I'm the owner of Blue Pearl Candles. As indicated, I'm on 2050 Ridge Road. We have been in business, the retail space about 4 years, and moved downtown about a year ago, some change. And we wanted to bring BYOB opportunity to our clients to increase our revenue. And that's the reason why we are applying for a 12A liquor license, so people can bring in their own beverages and then enjoy them on my premise.
And this is beer and wine only.
Well, yeah, well, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's right. That's it. Any comments or questions from anyone in the audience? If not, comments from the board. Trustee Harris Jones?
Thank you, because I must know about it. This is my step in bringing that type of service to the community.
Yes, it's a nice service. We get a lot of groups get together there, and they just want to enjoy themselves, relax a little bit. Yeah.
Trustee Willard?
Yeah.
Trustee Hyperman?
It's great.
Trustee Simpson, you're a big candle man.
Good luck. We wish you best of luck.
All right.
Trustee Mason?
Appreciate
Do
it.
you do like candle making parties?
I do,
Yeah,
I do.
I've got a candle maker at home, so, yeah.
Well,
Well, I don't mean she makes them, but she would love to.
let me give you my website.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Bring her over.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, you bet. May I have a motion to approve the Class 12B liquor license for Blue Pearl Candles?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by trustee Simpson, seconded by trustee Mason. Roll call, please.
Trustee Harris Jones. Trustee Willis. Trustee Hyperman. Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Motion is approved. Ms. Sikowski, Mahogany House Candles.
12B liquor license. That is Mahogany House Candles. They are located at 1941 Bridge Road, and they've been operating since last fall as well. They're a premium candle boutique and experiential candle making studio where that's gathered to create hand-poured candles in a relaxing environment. And they believe that by offering the beer and wine, it will help it patient experience. So it'll be the same. If you're all in favor, we would bring the door.
Is it here?
Yeah.
Can't have enough candles.
On the risk of sounding somewhat repetitive, my name is Drew Osalujo. I'm co-owner with my wife, who's at home with kiddos. We own Mahogany House Candles, 1941 Bridge Road. And similar to Kim, we feel that offering candle making classes where patrons can come and bring their own beer, wine, champagne, elevates the experience, elevates what we're trying to bring to the Humboldt community. And more than that, it creates an opportunity to bring people out to our space who may not come just to buy candles, but they will be looking for an experience. And I think we all know once they come to Ridge Road, there's so much for them to do. We just think that it'd be a great opportunity for us to expand, bringing people to our shop and bringing people to all of the businesses that are here in the downtown area. So that's our goal with the Class 12 liquor license, and I'll leave it at that.
Sure. Any comments or questions from anyone in the audience? And again, it gives trustee Simpson a chance to go to 2 candle shops, which he's excited about. Comments from trustee Harris Jones? Trustee Willett? Trustee Hyperman?
You have a really nice storefront, and it really feels good every time I drive by. It really stands out on your road, so.
I wish my wife would get that.
Trustee Simpson?
It does look very nice. Good luck.
Trustee Mason?
I wish you the best.
May I have a motion to approve the Class 12B liquor license for Mahogany House Candles?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by trustee Mason, seconded by trustee Harris Jones. Roll call, please.
Trustee Harris Jones. Trustee Willis. Trustee Hyperman. Trustee Simpson. Trustee Mason.
Motion is approved. Good luck to you.
Nothing else is we are doing a coat drive. We're partnering with Suburban Access Outreach. Children's coats, slightly gently used, new. You can drop them off right at our store, and we get those over to people who need them by the 15th of this month, if anybody has coats.
Okay, thank you. Special use permit for TP Lux Studio, Ms. Maceras.
Next agenda is a request from Tatiana Perkins of TP Lux Studios for special use to operate a salon space at 18124 Martin Avenue. This is a business model that includes individual stylists renting private suites within the shared facility. Under the zoning ordinance, the salon use is in the B2 district, which this was just this evening rezoned from B1 to B2. And that's important because salons are not permitted at all in the B1 district, and in B2, they are special use. So in order for this to be considered, that action had to first happen. This salon is going to occupy one of the tenant spaces within this building. It's a 3-story mixed-use building. The building this space was previously used as a dental office. That salon had the same parking requirements as a dental office. So they didn't need to increase the parking, they could conform with that. Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed this request on October 23rd. With 5 of their 7 members present, the commission voted 2-3. So the motion did not pass. They needed 4 votes to get a positive recommendation. The commissioners who voted against this were concerned about the number of salon uses that are already operating in downtown, and they didn't support another. Those who voted in favor, though, felt that the proposed business was smaller in scale compared to many other salons, suites that previously been considered. Since that meeting, staff met with the applicant, Ms. Perkins, who is here this evening, and she's chosen to proceed to the village board. The village board does have the final vote on this, and the options are to approve the special use. You could also refer this back to the Planning and Zoning Commission or deny this application. Those are the 3 options. Ms. Perkins does have some additional information that was shared in the village board packet, which is on the website and which you've all seen. So,
Ms. Perkins, come on up. Tell us what you plan to do.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tatiana Perkins. I have California law of the Kentucky world, but I
We have, the board has copies. Is there anything you'd like to add to that? Clarify anything, expand on it?
It's not just a salon for me, it's like for educational use as well, but the point of the line. With booths in the front and booths in the back. 2 suites in the back, so it's a small thing. Everyone that I will bring in will all have their own kind of, no competition on the one. With this, I will have to do the neighborhood, coat drive, like huge, the coat drive, sport drive, I read about explaining things in April. I want to see if I didn't want to show my face and I don't just want to come to the community and set up. And no one knows what I'm planning for. So I wanted to show my face and they see what I would like to do. I am currently enrolled on mentioning that the structures program so I can be able to teach and give out the credit hours for our license, but we need to do that in order to do it. Probably not to start like the credit hours today. The thing that's because that's one thing for the and also to do have a creative space. I would like to be together with you or the other salons that's in the neighborhood. And I've heard about y'all cancer center. I would like to create meetings to donate to the cancer center, no charge, just create meetings, get fuel and come together and things like that. Also, that is pretty much what I do some photos of what I wanted to create. I just created some photos for you all to get a visual, like with the toy drive, and it's right on Martin Avenue. When I went to the Homewood Fall Fest, I felt like home. I felt like I was at home. With the vendors everybody in the neighborhood is smiling, everybody having fun, the music, everything. I feel like home, I feel like this is the place where I can bring my creativity, my skills, and to get back. I'm always giving back. I mean, finally, always I choose a high school girl from any high school. I choose like one. I pick a high school. My mom is an educator, so she can kind of help me with choosing a student who would be like freshman or something like that. To make them over for prom, get them dresses, nails, hair, just choose one person to do that. And I've been doing that for a few years, probably about 9 years. I probably 2016. So homeware, I just feel like it's just a place for me to bring this. I can't find nowhere else where I feel like the community feel like home. Also, with my retail, I have a website already, TV Love Studio, that's been up and running for about 3 years now. It's been very successful. So this space will be a place for them to come pick up their hair, purchase hair or deliver our hair. We have a delivery service for the bundles. So, my class, I spoke on that, but I would like to teach different skills. Once I become and then that's one of the goals. So pretty much my goal for this salon is not just a salon, but somewhere like home, like create, like people can come and create. I would have like, I want to be like home, like and have you walk in and smell the aroma. It's kind of like a spot to me. That's pretty much what I'm targeting for.
Ms. Harris, how many chairs will be in this?
There will be 2 suites and then additional chairs. Are there 2, 3 additional chairs?
So you'll have five beauticians there? Okay. How many other?
Just like when no one is there, I would like to set up my podcast. So with no one, the accident thing that I just want to show my face and show you all that I'm serious about it.
So what you're saying for beautician purposes, you have 5 chairs there. How many other salons are in that building?
I think there are 3 others.
Chris, how many salons are in the building?
We have one salon and a moving girl and another line is a Jaya 5 right now. But if you move, not move right now.
So there are 4.
One salon right now.
So 3, 2 barbers.
2 barbers in 1 salon right now.
You have Mitzi is in there,
Samuel's.
Samuel's Barber Shop. What else?
What's the other one called?
Well, she's in.
One salon.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
2
and a
barbers.
barber on the other
There's
side.
a barber on the other side.
Okay, there's 2 barbers, 1 salon, and you would be the 4th one?
Yes.
She would be the 4th salon?
They have another one, Jaya. And
She's applying. The other salon will be at the Planning and Zoning Commission this Thursday.
Okay, so this is the 4th one
This
in
would be
that
the 4th
building.
one.
Okay,
Well, I can't tell you that I wasn't aware. I was aware about that because we know each other, we could be together and see the part of my family or as well. Because it makes it.
okay. Comments or questions from anyone in the audience? Board comments, Trustee Harris Jones.
Question. There ample parking for all of the different salons and the barbershops in that
Yeah.
building?
Yeah.
Yes, we have like 58 parking in the back of the building and not including front. Only the kind of parking in the back, we have 58, 48.
Trustee Willis.
Well, the planning and zoning
no votes were partially because of the number of salons.
Yes.
It's in the downtown area, not just in the building. Do we have
Yes.
an idea how many other salons are in there?
Yeah, there are actually 15 with this one, I believe, approximately, and that's in the entire downtown. That's in both the B2 and the B1 district.
Trustee Hyper.
Yeah, I think when the number was less than 15, we considered it saturated. And that's why the special use permit requirement came into play. I do support the Planning and Zoning Commission. I'm very concerned about the saturation.
Trustee Simpson.
I'm not in support of the zoning commissions. I believe that, any business we have is good business. I believe she's a young lady trying to get started. She's got a good plan here, a model, and I think one of our, if not the best partners in town is Grace. And Grace is not gonna let poor businesses come in town. She vets her people very well. She's been very supportive of everything we do. She understands what we want at home here, so. That's my opinion.
Trustee Mason.
Yeah, so I've just got a couple of questions. What you've got, is it 2 salons and 3 chairs?
It's,
2 suites?
2 suites and then 3 chairs in the front.
So what is the difference? I mean, what does a suite offer? I understand what a chair would be, just one singular.
The suite, pretty much like privacy.
Mhm.
So our do one esthetician, someone who performs like wax surgery.
Okay.
Things in that, so they have to have a private suite. If I can get 2 of those, that's great.
Mhm.
But, so far, yeah.
Okay,
So that's, for privacy, they get their own shampoo, glow, dryer, so they can be in their own room. I know I worked in a suite. I know some people like privacy and some people like to be out in the open and interact with everything.
Are these permanent businesses or because I know you would like to offer some continuing education classes as well? Are these gonna be permanent renters, or is it more of an incubator type of setting? I mean, are you helping people get started and then they move on?
Kind of help people get started, but I do want to create a team that would like to stay.
Okay,
Create that vibe for them to stay. People until they branch out and really get their own.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I don't think I have any other questions.
Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to either approve, deny, or remand this back to the Plan Commission's own board. May I have a motion by anyone?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made by Trustee Mason, seconded by Trustee Sim to approve this use. Roll call, please.
Trustee Harris Jones. Trustee Willis. Trustee Heiferman. Trustee Simpson. Trustee Mason.
Motion is approved. Good luck to you. Okay. You might want to have Trustee Heiferman come in to get his hair done. Trying to convince him.
You can see what. She ain't a miracle worker. Wow.
General board discussion. Oh, what here? General board discussion, Trustee Harris Jones.
Concerns, and also I would like to thank the citizens, Civics Academy participants. We greatly appreciate you coming in and learning all about our community. We really appreciate you. Congratulations.
Trustee Willis.
About plans for next year's outdoor farmers market. And I think it was cruel on a day like today, when it's cold and steady. That's long so much for something.
Trustee Heiferman.
I'm gonna throw a shout out to Barb for bringing up the bike quiz, which is a great resource. Everybody should go on to the website. I try to promote it once a year. The bike quiz is great. It's highly educational. Everybody has something to learn.
Trustee Simpson.
Yes, I can't believe nobody said Happy Veterans Day. We have at least four veterans that I know of sitting up here. So Happy Veterans Day to everybody that served and anyone that's in the audience here. Appreciate that. Congratulations to all the graduates of the civics program. I think that shows your dedication and your commitment to the community and the village. So we appreciate that. The village put out a really good letter with a lot of explanation that's posted on the website about some immigration things. I know it's a concern of a lot of people in the community, especially, I know Bob's in the audience here. He had some very valid concerns. I encourage everyone to take a look at that. Really take a look at that. The village did a really good job putting that together. Village manager Napoleon Haney did a great job putting that together, but I'm guessing a lot of input from the staff, Chief McGrath. It's very educational and it provides a lot of information. So please take a look at that. Thank you.
Trustee Mason.
I want to echo happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans, especially those of you here today, but anyone that's witnessing or will see this, we appreciate the service. Thank you for your commitment to our country and to maintaining the safety and security for all of us. So greatly appreciate that. Also want to thank Napoleon and staff for the updates on the 183rd Street mitigation program. I think it's I don't want anyone to think that the board is a monolith and that we have no interest in the safety of that street. We are all residents, we all live here, and we want it just as safe as anybody else. We may differ on how we achieve that, but ultimately that is the goal. And so we appreciate all of the work that's gone into informing everyone and transparency around what's being done to make sure that that's a safe street. Civics Academy graduates, I think that's an awesome program. I had the pleasure of speaking yesterday to that class right behind Chief McGrath and her staff. And I think it's a great program just because it shows the work that's actually done by our staff to make this such a great place. I mean, Homewood is a really wonderful place, as you see by individuals who want to be a part of that community. So I think we want people who want to be a part of that community, who want it to continue to grow and be a shining example. So congratulations to Civics Academy. And lastly, the reason why I was able to speak last night was because of the CERT program that I'll be working in support of with our Assistant Village Manager, Terrence Aqua, and Antonia Steinmiller. We've talked about the benefits of CERT to this community for a long time. For those of you who do not understand or don't know, CERT is a community emergency response team. It's an 8-week program that teaches residents how to be better prepared and how to build more resilience within the community. So it teaches you everything that you can do. It also gives you a stake in the game. So now you become a part of the community, and not just as a resident, but as an active participant in making sure that we're prepared and resilient. So thanks to everyone. Hope we have a great class in January when we get started. And that's it.
You sure? You sure that's it?
I'm sure that's it. Yeah, that's it.
One of the features that the village has is pre-leaf pickup. And the pre-leaf pickup starts tomorrow, Wednesday, the 12th, and continues for 2 more weeks after that, the 19th and the 26th. Mr. Berman, if you could tell the audience a little bit about what they have to do, how they can pack the leaves. You go ahead with that, please.
So break all your leaves up, bring them out to the parkway. There's bags you can put them in, and Homewood Disposal will come around and pick everything up during those 3 days.
So it's Wednesday, the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. And just put them in the craft bags that you can buy at Ace Hardware, Menards, Home Depot. You don't have to put a sticker on it. They'll be picked up. So that's the important thing. It's a nice feature. With that, all that being said, may I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Okay.
Been moved by Trustee Mason, seconded by Trustee Harris Jones. Roll call, please.
Trustee Harris Jones. Trustee Willis.
Aye.
Trustee Heiferman.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you all.